From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Moments from now, California will have a new U.S. Senator. And while we wait for the swearing in to begin, here's a little bit more about California's new junior senator. John Ramos has reaction from the Bay Area on the selection.
Well, that didn't take long. Governor Newsom said he was going to appoint an African-American woman to the open Senate seat, and that's what he's done. And now it looks like the next senator from California is not only not going to be from the Bay Area, she's not even from California. In selecting LaFonza Butler as interim senator, Governor Newsom made it sound like it was just an off-the-cuff decision.
I'm like, wait a second. What about LaFonza? And I was like, do you have her new number?
But Sonoma State political science professor David McEwen says there was a lot more thought put into it than that.
If you look at this selection, it's both fascinating and cynical at the same time. Remember, this is a guy who is not running for president while running for president. And at the same time that he's doing that, trying to make history with his appointments.
He's certainly done that. Butler will be only the second African-American woman to serve as California senator and the first openly LGBTQ person in that position. She leads an organization called Emily's List that helps women candidates supporting abortion rights. She's been a close political strategist for Vice President Kamala Harris, in addition to working for one of the biggest labor unions in the state. McEwen says all of those things would help Newsom in a potential run for president.
But also at the same time, by picking a political insider, this is someone who is also part of the political lineage and part of the political cousin relationship that exists between Governor Newsom and Vice President Kamala Harris.
But what's rubbing some people the wrong way is the fact that Butler lives in the state of Maryland. She reportedly owns a home in California and would need to change her voter registration before being sworn in. That doesn't sit well with Carolyn Weisinger.
And we want people who are in our area, have been in our communities, have been on the ground level, and that's unfortunately not the case in this particular instance.
But Weisinger, an El Cerrito City Council member, has another reason for being disappointed. She is a supporter of Oakland Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who was hoping to get the appointment to help her chances of winning the senatorial election next year. Newsom said he wouldn't name someone who is currently running because he didn't want to influence the primary. But he now says he's put no restrictions on Butler entering the race after she's in office.
Well, I wouldn't have appointed someone I didn't respect and admire and someone I couldn't back up and vouch for. So she'll make that decision.
I wouldn't say it's a double cross. I'd say it's something that may happen.
But would that feel unfair to you, considering that was the reason he gave for not considering Barbara Lee for this position?
It would amplify my disappointment, absolutely.
Is it even conceivable that he would make this selection and not have a pretty good idea what her plan would be afterwards?
That would be called political malpractice by staff. If he were to do that, you have some idea.
McEwen says it's rare for a political strategist to become the candidate, and there's no telling how it may play out.
So in some ways, it's like a fascinating case study of what will come over the next, say, 1 to 2 years.
The fact he chose someone most people have never heard of shows Newsom is playing chess, not checkers. This is political gamesmanship at the highest level, and the real objective here may not just be a seat in the Senate, but a seat in the Oval Office.
And let's take a live look from Washington, D.C. Here's a look inside the Senate chambers right now. This is where LaFonza Butler is about to be sworn in by Vice President and former California Senator Kamala Harris. Butler is taking the seat held by Dianne Feinstein for more than 30 years. She was appointed by Governor Newsom on Sunday. I can see it looks like LaFonza Butler and the group is coming in, and the vice president is now walking into the chambers right now. So this ceremony should be taking place very shortly from now. Are we going to stay with this? So once again, LaFonza Butler is about to be sworn in by Vice President and former California Senator Kamala Harris. Butler is taking the seat held by Dianne Feinstein for more than 30 years. Of course, last week, the late Senator, U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein passed away. It looks like the Vice President is now speaking, so let's listen in.
Term created by the death of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein of the state of California. The certificate, the chair is advised, is in the form suggested by the Senate. Hearing no objection, The reading of the certificate will be waived, and it will be printed in full in the record. If the senator designate will now present herself at the desk, the chair will administer the oath of office. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Or say, do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God?
I will.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And you're watching history being made. It's official. California has a new senator. Laphonza Butler now being sworn in, signing in as the new U.S. Senator from the great state of California, being sworn in by the Vice President. Kamala Harris, also from California. She was flanked by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Alex Padilla, also the U.S. Senator from California. She is once again breaking barriers. Butler is. She is the first openly gay person to represent the California in the Senate. Butler will only be the only black woman in the Senate. She is no stranger to politics, though. Butler recently led the group Emily's List that works to elect candidates who support abortion rights. She has also served as advisors to both Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris. Once again, Laphonza Butler becoming the next U.S. Senator from the state of California. Well, let's go back out live to the U.S. Capitol. The House has taken its first step in ousting Speaker Kevin McCarthy. They just voted not to table a motion to vacate the chair. Next will be the actual vote to vacate. That motion to vacate the Speaker's seat was introduced by Representative Matt Gaetz. This is all coming after Speaker McCarthy introduced a continuing resolution to keep the government from a shutdown. And we're being told that Democratic leaders have told their members to vote yes to vacate McCarthy. In a speech on the House floor yesterday, Gaetz accused McCarthy of making a deal with the White House, specifically as it relates to money for Ukraine. McCarthy has said there was no deal. When asked about the motion while on his way to the chamber, he said he was feeling fine. We will monitor this vote and bring you the very latest throughout the afternoon right here on KPIX and, of course, on CBS News Bay Area. After getting stuck by a hit-and-run driver. This was the scene last night at 5th and Market Streets in the city's Soma neighborhood. San Francisco police say rescuers found the woman trapped underneath the Cruise vehicle, had to use the jaws of life to get her out. She is being treated for critical injuries. Police tell us they are still searching for the woman who hit that woman, the driver who hit that woman. In a statement sent to us overnight, Cruise said their car was moving through a green light when they ran over the woman. The Cruise car was in autonomous mode, and there was no one in the car at the time of that accident. Well, San Francisco city officials officially kicked off Fleet Week, the ceremony happening just in the past hour. The mayor welcoming military dignitaries to the city, and there was a special appearance from former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. We have more Fleet Week coverage coming up, including a song from the U.S. Navy Wind Quintet and a look at how Fleet Week is going for businesses along San Francisco's Embarcadero.